This video is going to be fairly short, largely because I don't want to say too much, not least because you don't want to write too much. It's going to concern Hegel and Schleiermacher, as following on from Kant's attempt to rebuild or reformulate or even re-establish religion after the death of the metaphysical proofs. We're not going to say very much. There's really no value in producing such a great big long expositions on Schleiermacher and Hegel. You really want to say just what you need to say and move on. So starting with Schleiermacher. Now Schleiermacher is not looking to found religion upon metaphysics. That's been dealt with by Kant and Hume in relation to the critiques. Nor is he looking to base religion upon morality. Instead, what he's seeking to base religion upon is the feeling of absolute dependency. The feeling of the infinite through the finite and the eternal through the temporal. Now, in order to understand this, it's best to view Schleiermacher as following on from Spinoza in his pantheism, in that all things, all of the finite things and the temporal things that we encounter are, in some respects, illuminating our experience of God and our realization that everything that is, everything that we are dependent upon is God. So what's the place for the religions like Christianity and Islam and so on? Well, Schleiermacher doesn't want to dismiss them. He just wants to say that they are partial and incomplete. But they have a value. They have a value insofar as they are an efficient way for people to connect and to engage with the infinite and the eternal. It's very difficult to encounter the infinite and eternal in everyday life. The churches, the places of worship, are a useful starting point for that. But what about Hegel? Well, Hegel is unhappy with Kant. He is unhappy with the rejection of metaphysics. He thinks that that's problematic. He also just doesn't think that religion is morality. But he's also not particularly happy with Schleiermacher. Schleiermacher, he feels, as a kind of romantic and putting all his emphasis upon feeling and this talk of the infinite and the eternal. He thinks, well, that's fine, but unless you're able to define what infinite and eternal means, then you're really barking up the wrong tree. You're just being hopelessly vague. So what is then, for Hegel, religion? Well, he says that religion and philosophy are essentially doing the same thing. They both attempt to grasp the absolute idea. Now, what is the absolute idea? Well, the absolute idea is, in a strange sense, God, but it's not God in the usual sense. It's not God as in a being that's out there, but also it's not God in the sense of a kind of a total pantheism like Schleiermacher. Instead, the absolute idea is the final point, the destination of the process of history and culture. History and culture and nature all are in a process towards this absolute idea, and human beings are placed to grasp it, to engage with it, and so on. Now, philosophy enables people to do that, and religion is seeking to do the same. Hegel thinks that philosophy is much better for it because, philosophy is not tied into all these sorts of narratives and images and symbols and so on. So, in essence, religion is the attempt to grasp the absolute idea, and religions, and Hegel thinks that Christianity is the best one. Religions are intended to help people to do this, however faultily, because philosophy is better.